information session is meant to help students who have applied to a UC or CSU and need guidance on the next steps. We'll cover important tasks, key dates, practical advice, and additional tips to help you through the process. We are here to support you and provide you with resources and knowledge to help you complete your transfer process with confidence. We will discuss the details pertaining to both CSU and UC fall applicants. Please note that while these are the standard deadlines for the CSU system, each campus may have its own specific processes and deadlines for certain tasks. To ensure accuracy, we highly recommend visiting the website of each CSU campus to which you applied to confirm the exact deadlines for each requirement, specifically those marked as very or ASAP. An applicant should create a student portal immediately after they receive instructions from the university. Each CSU campus has its own student portal, so you will need to create a separate account for each campus that you have applied to. Applicants must submit their transfer academic update between January 1st and the 31st. Transfer academic update needs to include your final grades from the previous term and list of all courses in progress or planned for the upcoming term. You can also update your colleges attended, college coursework, general education, and standardized test sections. All CSU applicants are encouraged to log into Cal State Apply and select the Check Status page to download a PDF copy of your application to review your academic information and transferable GPA. For most CSU campuses, the final transcript deadline for fall admission is July 15th. While the general timeframe is around mid-July, applicants should send their official transcripts by the deadline specified by the individual CSU campus they are applying to. This can be found on the university website. No summer work will be accepted to meet fall admission requirements. To be considered for fall admission, supplemental applications are to be completed in January to include fall grades and spring enrollment. The free application for federal student aid is a free form that students can use to apply for federal and state financial aid for college or career school. The California DREAM Act application allows undocumented and non-resident documented students to apply for and receive private scholarships funded through public universities, state-administered financial aid, university grants, and Cal Grants. One important thing to note is that if you are eligible to file for FAFSA, you will not qualify for the California DREAM Act and vice versa. The admission decisions are sent out at different times within the 2 listed months. It just varies on the campus. Each CSU campus will have their own process for the admission portion, and therefore they all have their own specific timeframes to send out admission offers to applicants. CSU General Education Certification confirms that students have completed the transfer requirements for their CSU. It's the last step in the transfer process and should be sent with the final transcript to the transfer destination. The CSU GE certification is ordered or requested as an attachment to their final official transcript. It is highly recommended that students meet with a counselor to ensure they have completed all requirements. Once a CSU or multiple CSUs send an admission offer to an applicant, the applicant must accept the admission offer by submitting a statement of intent to enroll in order to officially be admitted to a CSU. You can only submit a statement of intent to enroll to one CSU campus. If an applicant fails to submit this, the extended admission offer will expire. The deadline to apply to on-campus housing is mid to late May. However, applying early increases your chances of getting your preferred room and housing options. You will usually need to be admitted to the university and have your student ID to access the housing application portal. This ideally happens before the priority deadline listed on the university's housing website, as housing is typically first come, first serve, and spaces can fill up quickly. It is important to remember that each CSU campus may have slightly different housing application deadlines, so always check the specific information on your chosen university's housing website. Be sure to contact the Disability Services Office on campus ASAP. This is highly recommended to avoid delays in receiving accommodations. Be prepared to provide appropriate documentation of your disability to support your accommodation request. Order final official transcripts through your MySierra through a third-party parchment. Contact the Admissions and Records Office for any delays or holds. Summer work will not be accepted to meet fall admission requirements. Orientation is a required step that allows students to learn about campus resources, academic expectations, and social opportunities. Some schools may also offer the opportunity to meet with a major advisor or department representative. So now we are moving on to the UC process. Please note while these are the standard deadlines for the UC system, each campus may have its own specific processes and deadlines for certain tasks. To ensure accuracy, we highly recommend visiting the website of each UC campus to which you applied to and confirm the exact deadlines for each requirement, specifically those marked as very or ASAP. An applicant should create a student portal immediately after they receive instructions from the universities. Each UC campus has its own student portal, so you'll need to create a separate account for each campus that you've applied to. Applicants must submit their transfer academic update between January 1st to the 31st. Applicants to the University of California receive an email invitation to create a university portal account by January. The email includes a username and a temporary PIN number. Transfer academic update needs to include your final grades from the previous term and list all of the courses in progress or planned for the upcoming term. You can also update your colleges attended, college coursework, general education, and standardized test sections. All UC applicants are encouraged to log into their My Admissions portal and select the Check Status page. You can download a PDF copy of your application to review your academic information and transferable GPA. To be considered for fall admission, supplemental applications are to be completed in January to include fall grades and spring enrollment. Applicants will usually be notified within the UC application portal if your chosen major requires additional materials. The free application for federal student aid is a free form that students can use to apply for federal and state financial aid for college or career school. The California DREAM Act application allows undocumented and non-resident documented students to apply for and receive private scholarships funded through public universities, state-administered financial aid, university grants, and Cal Grants. One important thing to note is that if you are eligible to file for FAFSA, you will not qualify for the California DREAM Act and vice versa. The admission decisions are sent out at different times within the 2 listed months. It varies on the campus. Each CSU campus will have their own process for the admission portion, and therefore they all have their own specific timeframes to send out admission offers to applicants. To contact the Disability Services Office on campus ASAP. This is highly recommended to avoid delays in receiving accommodations. Be prepared to provide appropriate documentation of your disability to support your accommodation request. If the UC or multiple UCs send an admission offer to an applicant, the applicant must accept the admission offer by submitting a statement of intent to enroll in order to officially be admitted to a UC. You can only submit a statement of intent to enroll to one UC campus. If an applicant fails to admit one, the extended admission offer will expire. You will submit this through the online portal provided by the UC you are applying to. Orientation is a required step that allows students to learn about campus resources, academic expectations, and social opportunities. Some schools may also offer the opportunity to meet with a major advisor or department representative. The deadline to apply to on-campus housing is June 2nd. However, applying early increases your chances of getting your preferred room and housing options. You will usually need to be admitted to the university and have your student ID to access the housing application portal. This happens ideally before the priority deadline listed on the university's housing website, as housing is typically first come, first serve, and spaces can fill up quickly. It is important to remember that each UC campus may have slightly different housing application deadlines, so always check the specific information on your chosen university's housing website. Order final official transcripts through your MySierra through a third-party parchment. Contact the Admissions and Records Office for any delays or holds. Summer work will not be accepted to meet fall admission requirements. A CSU General Education Certification or Intersegmental General Education Transfer Curriculum, known as IGETC, confirms that students have completed the transfer requirements for their UC. It's the last step in the transfer process and should be sent with the final transcript to the transfer destination. The certifications are ordered or requested as an attachment to their final official transcript. It is highly recommended that students meet with a counselor to ensure they have completed all requirements. Before we finish the presentation, we want to acknowledge the importance of finding your community on campus prior to beginning your studies there. Finding your community will give you a sense of belonging and connection to your new campus, which in turn will make you more comfortable, not just in your college environment, but also with asking for assistance when needed and navigating the supports and resources available to you as a student. Perhaps you already have a community you participate in at Sierra. It's likely that your transfer university has a similar program, center, or club. You can always check out a university's website to see what they offer, but we are happy to help you research this as well and connect you with these communities if you would like assistance. You might also consider reaching out to the admissions representatives of the universities you're interested in to request information on what they have available. As we wrap this session up, we wanted to share who to contact if you have any questions throughout your transfer process. Our department, Career and Transfer Connections, can help with the technical side of the application and general questions about the application process. Counselors can give academic guidance for planning courses, choosing a campus, and selecting a program of concentration, as well as confirming transfer eligibility. University representatives do all of the above, plus they're able to speak to students about any campus-specific questions they may have. For tuning in, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.